what we're going to do next is put you through a testing environment. So you're going to, if you've not tested yet, this is what the test will be like. We're going to give you a demo. And just like the test, we're going to tell you what we took for everything on the first vault. And then we're going to run the 6 vaults all the way through. Okay, we're not going to stop. We're going to ask you to take your minute in between, come up with a score, record it somewhere on your paper. Then at the end of the test, we will go through the vaults. We'll go back through them. We'll show it to you one more time, and we will tell you what we took. And you'll see it again.
Ten seconds. Time.
So here's what we saw. Pre-flight, a little bit of knee bend, okay, 0.05. Support phase, shoulder angle, body position, 0.05, small deduction. Height could be better, 1.5 to 2. Distance, 1. The body position, as she's coming down, there's a pike there, so 0.15 to 2. Check out her feet for 1/2 a tenth. She's got a hop and a small step for 0.25. And dynamics, we took 0.5 to 1. So we had 0.85, 0.95. So that got us to an 8.75 to an 8.8 range for a final score of 8.8. Okay, so that's what will happen in a test. You'll get to watch one, you'll get the answers there, and then the next 6 will just play right through. It will not tell you the start value, so you'll need to have your chart with you so you can check it out.
Ten seconds. Time. 10 seconds. Time. Ten seconds. Time. Ten seconds. Time. Ten seconds. Time. 10 seconds. Time.
Okay, so I hope y'all got all those 6 vaults down and you're feeling good about where you landed. So let's go and do a little review of them. So let's look at our first vault, which was the Yurchenko layup vault. So that pre-flight had a little execution going on. Okay, 1/10 to 1/10.5 for the legs, just loose, a little bit apart, a little bit bent. The support phase, we have 1/10.5 for that shoulder angle body position. 1/10.5 for height, distance 0.1. Body position, the legs apart and a little bit of a pike down as she's completing her vault. Landing just 1/10 and dynamics 1/2 to 1/10. So we ended up with a range of deductions of 0.85 to 0.95. And from our 10.0 vault, that got us into a score range of 905 to 915. So somewhere in the 9-1 range would be a good score for that vault. There we go. See those knees? Those knees are what we were talking about, legs apart, knees bent. Okay. And you see the shoulder angle, the legs are still a little bit apart. Gonna watch the height, not bad, but 1/10.5 would be a good deduction there. And then we've got that pike down that you saw and the little bit of landing. Okay, let's look at vault number 2. This was our Yurchenko double. This is the 10.0 vault with a +1. Nice vault, okay, a little bit of legs apart in the pre-flight, if you caught that. Height, 0.1 to 0.15, distance 0.1. The body position, little bit of pike, little tiny lack of stretch, 0.5 maybe to 1, slightly under rotated, but 1/10 off there, and just a little 0.5 landing there. We ended up with a 0.45 to 0.55 in deductions, which gives us the 945 to the 955, but we're going to give her back that 10th. So we're going to end up about a 9.6 on that vault. So let's take a look at it again. Little bit of legs you can see. The pike coming down, a little bit of under rotation, but still a really very good vault. Little bit of nudge there on the landing. Vault number 3 was your handspring front tuck. Again, that's the new value. Okay, used to be 9.7, it's now a 9.8. So pre-flight, 10th, we got some body position, head, knees, just a general 10th for the body line there coming onto the table. Height, 0.25 to 0.3, distance 0.1. The body position, the extension, we have 2/10 off there. She's got a little bit of flex feet, 0.05. She's got that very classic 2/10 step. It's a large step, right? And then some additional body movements. Dynamics 0.5 to 1. So we ended up with in deductions 1.15 to 1.25 coming from that 9.8 start value would put us in the 8.6 range. See that little bit of body position, little bit of knees. Not much height, okay? So 2.5 to 3 there, and you see that big step, that 2/10 hop and the additional movements there. Let's look at number 4. This is the Yurchenko 1.5. This is starting at a 10. This is also a +1 bonus vault. Pre-flight we thought was pretty good, okay? Support phase, maybe a 10th for body position knees. Height was really quite good, just a 0.5 off there. On the other side, body position, a 10th to a 10.5 for the pike and a little bit of legs. Feet 05, landing a 10th, maybe a 10.5. So our deduction range was just 4 to 5/10, giving us that 9.5 to 9.6 score range, but we're going to give her back that 10th. So we're going to end up around a 9.65 for that vault. Okay, there we go. On site is not bad at all. We got some body line there, a little bit of knees, little loose. Height's very nice. She comes off the table well. She's got a leg position. You could see it starting here. And she's got that step on the landing. Okay, so a nice vault altogether, 9.65, good score for her. Vault number 5. This is our handspring front pike. This is also elevated in value. Used to be a 9.8, is now a 9.9. Okay, reduction there in the pre-flight for the body position, a 10th, maybe a 10.5. Support phase, still a little body position. She's got the legs apart. Height 0.25. Distance 0.5 to 1. The body position, she's got that chest low, 0.5 to 0.1. She does bend her knees in the salto a little too early, so 0.5 to 1 for the knee bend. And then we've got the landing of 0.1 to 0.15, dynamics 0.5 to 1. So we have deductions around 7 or 8/10, which gets us down to that 9.192 range. So 9.15 is probably a good score for this athlete. Let's take a look at her again. Okay, so we have that body line there. 10th to a 10.5. We've got the legs apart. You can see them a little better here when she gets into the support phase. Height 0.25 there. And she's got that body position on the landing and that landing deduction 0.1 to 0.15. So ending up with a 9.15 for that vault. Okay, our last vault is the half on, half front tuck, valued at a 9.7. Okay, pre-flight, got legs apart, we got a body position error, so as much as 2/10 there in the pre-flight. The support phase, she does have some bent legs and some feet, so we could take up to 3.5/10 there. The height, 2 to 2.5, distance a 10th. We're lacking some extension, some open there in the body position, so 2/10 there. Little bit of feet 0.5, landing error 0.1, dynamics 0.5. So we ended up with 1.15 to 1.25 in deductions, getting that score down to the 8.5 range. So let's take a closer look at her. Okay, you can see the legs apart there for sure if you missed them in the fast motion. And there's those early bend of the knees. You can see them pretty clear there. Her legs are still apart. So we're gonna, that'll be at least a 3-5 deduction there. Then we're gonna watch for her height. We have 2 to 2.5 off there. And we want her to open, and she does have a lack of extension here. We'd like to see that open a little bit more. And then she's got that step on the landing. So we end up with an 8.5. So that is the end of our test.